This is how it says because everything of everything is not muted. So this is what my look like because my warehouse complicated because this is just everything that.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jeff, and I am going to be giving you guys a show and an activity that you can do very soon. My clock shows 4:28. We are going to wait just a few more minutes to make sure as many people can log on as possible. And then I'm pretty sure this is going to get recorded. So if anybody happens to miss it live, all of the elementary students will be able to see it afterwards, but we are going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. So hang out. Thank you guys for your patience. This one is going to be super fun.
How is it going to be fun? I just say it's hilarious because you can barely see. That's what most important is. The more important is because you could see that you could feel like, or you could see what you could log on it, or you could do anything. You could do like stuff to read. You could read. You could zoom like on the channel, or you can just like do stuff, or you could do like you could be in person like the same, like if you don't have anything. If you don't have anything, just go on log so you could see what you actually see. You can actually see what you see, so you don't know where you are. So I'm at Texas, so you guys are at the same point, so I can see what you're doing. We're at the same channel, so we could do something that we naturally do. So we could have like a channel, or like we have a bad word to say, and then we had to say as I'm so sorry, and then you could ask Mom, could I go to the park? And then she would say no because I don't know what it is. Like it. First competitor is Lightning McQueen is arriving at the track. Someone's done here. Hi, Josiah. Josiah.
Lightning McQueen or crew chief Lightning McQueen must be found at all costs. They're all asking the same question. Where is McQueen?
These people. Morning, Super Duty. I had to go to the bathroom. Then go.
Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Leisner, the STEM coordinator at Patriot Elementary. Mr. Jeff Gagne is about ready to begin, guys. And before I let him get going, can we just have everybody mute their video, please? So that way we can all hear what cool, fun STEM activity you're going to be doing tonight. So Now that everyone's muted, like I said, I'm Mr. Leister. I'm the STEM coordinator at Patriot Elementary. And I know this year's a little bit different, guys. Normally we do a huge get together in the front of the school where there's organizations from all over the area and a lot of cool things for everyone to check out. But hey, we're working with what we can do this year. And we've had Mr. Jeff Gagne here at school in the past. And we're very happy to welcome him back to Patriot Elementary. And so with that, I want to hand it on over to Jeff. And just one more reminder, guys, if you're not muted, please make sure to have your video muted because Mr. Jeff Gagne is ready to begin.
All right, Mr. Leisner, thank you so much. I'm going to double check, make sure I am not muted. Give me thumbs up in the camera if you guys can hear me. That is excellent. Wonderful, wonderful. Again, Mr. Leisner, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you guys inviting me back. I know this has been a tough year. We're not going to spend 3 minutes about how it's been tough and different, but I was thrilled that Mr. Leisner reached out and said, you know, we're still doing our STEM night. Now, I would like to know if you guys would raise your hands or give me a thumbs up right in front of the camera, who remembers me from STEM night last year or the year before? I see a couple of you. Last year, if you remember STEM night, did you go outside and look through a really big telescope to see the moon? That was me out there. Yay, I see bunches of thumbs up. That's wonderful. That was me and my daughter Zoe, who was manning our Zack and Zoey Adventures table. So Zack and Zoey Adventures is a brand that my daughter and I run that is all space and STEM education for your age groups. So we get to create activities and we get to share them and we get to talk about the solar system. And sometimes we mix those two things together and we create activities about the solar system, not just about here on planet Earth. So I know some of you guys are waiting for what we're going to do. I have about a 3-minute thing I need to show you, a presentation about why we are going to do this activity. Give me a thumbs up in the camera if you like planets. Yeah, that's a lot of thumbs ups. Okay, now put those thumbs down. Give me a thumbs up if you like moons of our solar system. Oh, very good. A lot of times I'll get a lot for planets, but not as many thumbs up for moons. Well, we know you guys are smart kids. I've been to your school and I've talked to a lot of you. You guys know the planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, then an asteroid belt, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto out there in the Kuiper belt. But some of the moons of our planets are actually more interesting. Are actually more interesting than our planets are. So we are going to actually do an activity that is going to help us understand how NASA is going to explore a planet, or excuse me, a moon of Jupiter. So Jupiter is that first gas giant out in the solar system, in that second half of the outer solar system. We've got Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars as inner rocky planets, but then Jupiter is that first gas giant. And one of the moons of Jupiter is called Europa. And Europa has something very special about it. Europa has a liquid ocean, which NASA uses to search for life. Now, raise your hand and give me big thumbs up if you think there are aliens. Do you think aliens are real? Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of no, Mr. Jeff. We're smarter than that. We know you're tricking us. Now, I want to give you the definition of alien. So when you guys think of alien, give me a big nod if you thought I was asking about little green men with giant eyes and they're, yeah, that's what you guys were thinking about. Aliens are any life form that did not originate here on Earth. So whether it's animals, insects, plants, human beings, or microbes, if they're on Earth, they're not alien. They are part of our world. But any life form that started on another world, whether it's a planet or a moon, is considered an alien to us Earthlings. And NASA searches for aliens by following water. They want to search everywhere they have found water in the solar system because, raise your hand if you knew Earth is not the only place there's water in the solar system. There is actually water a lot of places in the solar system. Mercury, the moon, and Mars all have water that's frozen solid into ice. Venus has water vapor in its cloudy atmosphere, but very few places have liquid water. And one moon of Jupiter and one moon of Saturn are two of those places. And this activity that we're going to do is talking about how we are going to get to that liquid water, because both of those moons don't have liquid water on the surface like Earth. So there's no liquid water that you can just go swimming in. Because those moons are so far away from the sun, the outside of those moons is an icy crust. So I am going to share my screen. I'm going to show you guys a couple of slides for what we're talking about. And I want you guys to see, we're not going to do the whole presentation. This is for when we're in school. We don't do presentations when we're not in school. All right, let's see. Over here, next slide. You guys know who I am. I'm Mr. Jeff, the STEM guy that comes to your school, and I do Zack and Zoey Adventures, and I occasionally bring my telescope. Now, Carl Sagan is a really cool dude, an old astronomer who is now dead, but he taught us a lot about the solar system. And this quote from him is, "Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known." Well, I believe as a space educator teaching about the solar system, I think that Jupiter's moon Europa is that somewhere where something incredible is waiting to happen. So NASA is already working on missions to this icy moon right here, Europa, that orbits planet Jupiter. Now, I'm going to skip a couple of slides. And here is a lander. A lot of us have done a lander activity where we'll try to protect an egg or to try to protect our marshmallows from falling out of a lander cup. But when we go to Europa, we are going to need two different things for spaceships when we get there. The first thing we're going to need, you can see on my slide, is this lander, something that will land on that icy surface. But after it lands on the surface, the lander can't get under the ice into the liquid ocean to search around for little alien critters, or maybe even alien fish. So what we want to do is we need to create a robot, which is called a cryobot. C-R-Y-O-B-O-T, cryobot. It's a fun word to say, but it's a robot that can withstand frozen temperatures, and it's actually going to melt through that icy covering that you can see in your slide right there. It's going to melt through there, and then it's going to drop a submarine, an underwater robot that can search around for alien life in this liquid ocean. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Now I'm going to come back to me. Give me a thumbs up if you are ready to search for alien life, because you guys can do this activity at home with just one thing that you may not have already. Excellent. I see a bunch of thumbs up. Hold that thought. I need to go turn on my microwave, and you will learn why. All right, I am back. I am back. The best way to do this activity is not even in class. This is at home, because you need your microwave to heat up some water so we can heat up our cryobot, and you need your freezer to create a frozen surface. Now, I'm going to go back and share my slides one more time. I need everybody pay attention to this one. I really want you to see this. Do you guys see this picture right here? This is called a 3D cross section. So what it's showing us, it's a slice of the edge of the moon's surface. So we can see that there's a crust, but we can see what's under the crust, liquid ocean, and we can see what's under the liquid ocean, which is a hard, rocky moon. So this is a 3D cross section. What we're going to do, our activity, is creating that 3D cross section. So what you're going to need, and you guys are going to do this, I'm going to show you how to do it, and then you guys are going to, and then you guys can do this later on tonight if you have everything, or maybe ask mom and dad if you can go get the shaving foam, and then you guys can do it later on this week. You need a clear plastic cup or a clear glass at home that mom and dad don't mind you using for this. And then what you're going to do is you are going to put a little bit of sand in the bottom of that cup. Do you see how we've just created that hard, rocky surface of the moon underneath? Do you guys remember what layer was above that hard, rocky moon? Yeah, it was liquid ocean. That's right. I saw some of you guys wanting to say it or answer. I just have to go through this fast because I only have a half an hour. So I have water in my cup. The best way to pour it so you don't get a big dirty ocean is pour it slow and pour it a little bit sideways. But after about a third of a rocky cup of a rocky ocean, or excuse me, a rocky moon, you're going to fill the cup a little bit more than a third with liquid water. So now we have a rocky moon right here, liquid ocean right here, and then we need to give ourselves a surface that we can freeze solid so we can melt our cryobot through it. And that's where we need mom and dad. If we don't already have it, please, mom and dad, can we go to the dollar store? At the dollar store, you can get shaving foam. If you don't already have one of these, this is a giant can. This lasts me a long time for a lot of experiments. This is shaving foam. You can't use shaving gel, that blue stuff, for this. It won't work. But what you want to do is you want to shake up that can really good to make sure it's foamy and not drippy. And then you're going to squirt that shaving foam right on top of your liquid ocean. You'll notice that it floats, but you don't want too much. I know it's hard to not want to spray this stuff all over the place, but don't get mom and dad's kitchen too messy. And then I've got just a plain butter knife, or you can use a popsicle stick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth out, without pushing it down and without mixing it with my water, I am going to smooth out my Europa surface. So now, notice that I have a 3D cross section in real life. I have a hard, rocky moon. I still have a clean water, liquid ocean. And I have shaving foam on top. So I have that icy crust. But right now, our crust is not icy. Our crust is still shaving foam. So what do? We bring it to our freezer. which I've already done. So I'm going to go grab one of them. Don't go away, you guys. Don't go away. I'm coming right back. So I have already made my 3D cross sections. This one has been in the freezer. I made the top just a little bit nicer. And what we are going to do is this one actually just started melting already. I have taken a cup and I've boiled some water in the microwave. So always ask mom and dad about this part to help you out. And then I have 3 regular marbles inside, because I'm going to show you this 3 times. I've got marbles inside my heated water. So the marble is going to act as our cryobot. So we now have our icy covered moon Europa right here. And I'm going to get a nice warm cryobot marble and then watch as I drop it on top of the surface. See how it melts through and goes into the liquid ocean? That's exactly what NASA's going to do with a real robot. You see my cryobot that's in that liquid ocean right there? It melted through the top. You can see the icy crater that it left. I now have 2 more to show you. I'm going to go get one out of the freezer. Actually, it looks like I have a helper coming. I need the one in the middle, please. So what you can do, use the spoon to get your heated up cryobot. So I've got another one here. Again, this one just came out of the freezer. Notice when I touch it, hardly anything comes off on my finger. It's nice and solid. So my warm cryobot is just going to melt through. Check that out. I'm trying to bring it as close as I can. And then when it melts through, I want you guys to watch this because this one's even slower. Watch when it goes through, poof. And then all of that shaving foam melts off of your cryobot and goes back to the surface. That is super cool. Now, I've got one more, and I want to show you one last thing that I want you guys to add when you do this activity yourselves. If you have not already done it, if you've not already played with this feature on mom or dad's phone or your tablet or iPad, I want you guys to use the slow motion camera. Give me a thumbs up if you've done slow-mo video. Oh boy, that's a whole lot of you. Excellent. I want you guys to get your camera out and slow-mo video this, and then I want you to watch the cryobot melt through the surface of Europa in slow motion. And whoops, that one was super fast. So this one did not freeze nearly as much as my second one did. And you can do experiments on, because I have 3 of them. I don't have 3 hands to hold them up, but I've got 3 of them. Notice how I made my crusts almost all the same thickness. This one's a little thicker, which is why it didn't freeze as much. And I put the one that was the most solid in the freezer earliest. So you guys can test how long you could keep it in the freezer before your liquid ocean starts to freeze over underneath. Because the cool thing about this experiment is the icy crust, the shave foam, will freeze solid before the water freezes. So you won't lose your marble, your cryobot, in the shaving foam. It will always fall through. But if you leave the cup, or if you forget about the fact that you're doing an activity and you leave this in the freezer, you'll have a frozen ocean as well. That doesn't go along as well for the activity, but that's what you can do at home. All you need is a can of shave foam. Remember, I used just a plastic cup. You could use mom or dad's glass because you want to be able to see through it. Please just ask them first. You also, if you use mom and dad's cup, you don't need to put the dirt on the bottom. You can just fill it with water so the liquid ocean goes all the way to the bottom, and then just have an icy crust with the shave foam on top. But I used a clear plastic cup. Now, super cool activity, and I call this an extension. A lot of times your teachers will say, okay, that was the end of the activity. I'm going to give you an extension for this activity. If your moms and dads, please, please, please hear me. Your moms and dads do not need to buy you anything, preferably except the shave foam, but this is at the dollar store. You do not need to do this for Mr. Jeff's activity. This is just a really cool addition to the activity. If you guys remember, if you were paying attention when I started, the reason we want to search Europa is because we think there may be life in this liquid ocean of that moon of Jupiter so far out in our solar system. Well, if you want to actually search for life in your 3D cross sections, I need to go back to my slides and I've got to show you the coolest thing. And before I started doing this activity, I did not even know this was possible. Raise your hands. I'm actually going to stop sharing because sorry about this. I'm going to stop sharing. Give me a thumbs up if you have heard of water bears. Their real name is a tardigrade. Give me a thumbs up if you know what a tardigrade or a water bear is. Yeah, I see lots of thumbs up and big smiles. That's great. Tardigrades are the sturdiest, most indestructible creatures humans have ever come across. They can be frozen solid in ice for long periods of time. And when you thaw out the ice, they will just come back to life. Hey, that was fun. Thanks for the cold nap. They don't care. And NASA astronauts have taken tardigrades all the way to the International Space Station, and they have exposed tardigrades to the vacuum of space where there's no oxygen, and they can survive. They can survive anything. So there are creatures that could be living in that liquid ocean. I'm going to go back to my slides, and I want to teach you something. Occasionally you get some shaving foam on you with this activity. It's a lot of fun. Try to remember it's not whipped cream. The number of times I've licked my spoon doing this and gone, bah, is terrible. Got to remember. But my favorite extension to do with this is, let's see if I can get my cursor to follow with me. Here are some slides. Here's our cup with dirt, cup with water, crust. I can make sure Mr. Dillon gets these pictures so you guys remember how to do this, as well as this is being recorded and we'll share that. But God, boys and girls, check out this slide right here. This slide is showing us, are you guys seeing this slide? No, we're not seeing it.
No.
Okay, I need to share screen again. Let's try. There we go. Now we're sharing. This slide right here, you guys, moms and dads, you don't need to do this, but if you are very scientifically experimenting with your kids, with your students, you can buy tardigrades online for just 14 bucks. So kids, maybe do some chores around the house, see if you can raise some money, but you can buy tardigrades. And then once you get a tardigrade, what you can do is you can put the tardigrade, make more than one of these, make 3 like I did, and then put the tardigrade into one of them. And then after you do your cryobot experiment, you can search that water with a microscope and find which one has the tardigrade. So you are actually searching for life on Jupiter's moon Europa as a Patriot elementary school student. That is what I have for you as an activity. I hope you guys enjoy it. I really hope you guys do it. If you guys do it, I'm going to share my screen one more time. Please, 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 if you guys do this activity, please share it with me on our social media at Zack and Zoey Adventures, or on our website, or on our website, stemtobloom.com, Zack and Zoey Adventures is on Facebook and Instagram. I would love to see your pictures of you guys doing this activity, a video, or even a slow-mo video, because those are my favorite. Watching this go down and then watching all the foam melt off of your cryobot so it's ready to go searching for life. I really hope you guys enjoyed this activity. I hope I get invited back next year for your STEM night when we get to do this again in person. I will see you guys again. Mr. Dillon, if you are still on the call, is there anything that you would like to finish up with? I don't happen to see you on my Brady Bunch screen right now.
Mr. Jeffrey, it's Miss Polly Afghan, one of the assistant principals at Patriot. Thank you so
hello.
much for joining us tonight. I just want to say thank you. I really enjoyed it, and so did my daughter. So we
Wonderful.
appreciate your time, and everybody who was on, thank you so much. And I can't wait to hear about all the experiments that you're doing at home. Share with me.
Wonderful. Terrific. Thank you very much. I really appreciated being a part of this. You guys have fun doing your activity.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.
Bye. 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 Bye.